So I've been thinking about this thing and how to describe it. And, it's a beautiful sunset. Um, Men and women are already at odds with each other. It's like a competition, right? Oh, it sucks to be a woman because of childbirth, but it's also a beautiful thing, and periods, and all, just whatever, all this crap. Um, Sort of set up on these old paradigms of what men and women are both so supportive, the positions they're supposed to supposedly hold within the perspective of society, how they contribute to society and are part of the system. And the truth is, we aren't equals. This whole feminism thing and we want equality, like if you do a job and you're a human, it should be dependent upon your experience and not your sex. Like, we get that, I get that. But it's not about hurting our men in order to make ourselves feel better. It's not really their fault. It's sort of collectively all of ours for not stopping and questioning beliefs or practices sooner, bowing down to other people's views and opinions. And so we're not equal. We are chemically very different, right? To be a woman has its own chemical makeup, and to be a man has its own chemical makeup. And so we're like, look at how many humans there are, and each one of us is a mix of both of those things, with the testosterone and the estrogen. But I think there are things that are unique to the sexes, to be a female or to be a male in that chemical composition. And if we could realize that we're not sitting on it's not like a seesaw with men and women on either side, and when one's in balance, the other one's out, or when one's in power, the other one's not. It's not meant to be, we're not on the same damn seesaw. It's, if you want to think of it in religious terms, then we're each on our own seesaw, and as God or the universe or the creator, or however you want to talk about it or think about it, that idea, that thing, that beyond that exists on the other side of that seesaw, because it's a personal journey. We're not tied together. I think that what I'd like to see is for people to stop getting hung up on some of the little details and start enjoying each other for who we are, regardless of the sort of biodegradable suit we happen to be wearing. There's something that makes you you. There's something that is innate, that isn't just programming, it isn't just circumstance, it isn't these things. There's that you, whatever that you is, right? And that's what, we're all depressed, and we're all in the world, and the fighting, and there's so much on the news to keep you in that negative mindset, to always feel like it's all pointless and what does it matter, but to keep us at each other in every possible division. And I don't think it's necessarily intentional. Maybe it is, and I'm sorry if the wind is really annoying. I don't think it's necessarily intentional. It's just sort of it may be a byproduct. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how or why I got there. Like, let's stop building from our past. Let's stop using the past as a model to slowly work our way forward, and let's all turn around and just build for our future. I don't think that we do that. I think that every time yes, there are traditions, yes, there are things that need to be passed down, but it's adapt or die. Change is everything. Motion stays in motion. Quit trying to dig in and make it yesteryear. It's not yesteryear. It was needed. It was great. Our understanding of things is evolving, so evolve with it. I don't know. But I think we're not equals. It's not equality. It's not about equality that way. It needs to be more about inclusiveness. Fuzzy the pixels. To get a clearer image, sometimes you have to make the individual pixels fuzzier. Let's step back. That was all. I think that's what I want to see in my future. It's just people who genuinely connect, and it's not about, oh, you hurt my feelings because you're a man and men never understand. When I stop to really think about the perspective of what it must be like to be that gender and raised a certain way, I'm much more forgiving. And I've learned to be much more forgiving with myself. Some things are inherently female. I have a term for it. I'm working on it. Some things in the works, which made me think of all of this, but those inherent differences, instead of trying to compare them and instead of trying to own them like trophies and mine is worse or mine is better, and instead of trying to compare them because they're not equals, they're equally different. They're equal in their intensity, but they're not meant to be balanced and checked against each other. They're two entirely different chemical makeups. So why can't we approach it more from like a learning standpoint? Hey, you know, that must suck. I wonder what that must be like, instead of having these natural aversions to it. You're not listening, and you hurt my, like, all this miscommunication and this. Like, stop it. Just stop it. Those are my thoughts on that. That's where I'm at with that right now. I'm sure that'll evolve.